Pardon me while I slither in. Today I'm serving up a look that puts a W in Horcrux. But Harry Potter puns aside, today we're talking about an actual Disney Channel masterpiece. Jump In. When Jump In came out in 2007, I was 13, and unlike a lot of 13-year-old black girls living in America, I could not double dutch. I lacked the basic coordination, and I'm from Jamaica, so there we mostly Chinese skipped as kids. But despite me not knowing how to double dutch, I was eager to watch the movie and live vicariously through Kiki Palmer's character Mary, and also to fangirl over Corbin Blue. And I know Corbin Blue's character had mad skills, but 13-year-old me only cared about the fro and the smile. But enough about me. Let's jump into Jump In. Jump In is about teen boxer Izzy Daniels, who's sticking to the status quo when his neighborhood crush Mary's double dutch team needed an extra member.
Standing as a fourth so we could plan a routine right while we look for someone.
Because this girl decides to leave.
I didn't get in this to play games, Mary. I'm in it to win.
What a bit. As a shocking turn of events, Izzy actually liked double dutching, but he can't let anyone outside of the double dutch group know that he actually double dutched because
I can't go out like that. Our jump roping isn't me.
Why?
Just isn't.
You jump rope all the time.
Yeah, for boxing, not for whatever it is y'all do.
You scared your boys to laugh at you? Come on, Izzy. We really need you.
No.
2007 much? His father is also really strict on him and wants him to be a Golden Glove boxer because he was a boxer when he was growing up. And though Jump In might be a masterpiece, it's no exception to the typical Disney Channel tropes. For one, Izzy's mom is dead.
She's dead!
And we also get this scene that makes us realize that not only did she die, but it was recent.
Can you do the way Mommy used to?
I see. You miss her, huh?
Yeah.
I know. So do I.
There's also a big bad bully whom everyone's afraid of, but we find out later that they're just misunderstood. And of course, the classic Disney annoying sibling.
Shut don't go up, rices do. So take your advice and shut up.
Both of you.
And what's a Disney Channel original movie without a parent who is trying to live vicariously through their child or children?
You wouldn't have heard me unless I was talking about boxing. That's all you ever talk about, Dad.
And of course, it follows the typical Disney Channel original movie formula of protagonist is known for and is good at one thing. Protagonist tries something else and actually like it, but keeps it a secret because of what other people would think. Protagonist's secret is revealed. Protagonist is embarrassed and quits the thing that they actually love because of what other people says.
I'm a boxer. I can't be champion if I'm jumping rope with a bunch of girls.
Protagonist is giving a convincing speech about how you have to be the true you that's deep down inside.
Imagine if I listened to every stupid comment you and your boys made about me. You think that I'd be the best girl boxer in the city?
And then protagonist runs or drives or hop, skip or whatever to the finale where they showcase their ultimate extreme masterful talent. Maybe I've lost my memory of being in high school in the pre-2010s, but in what hellscape would you have to go to school in that they would react like this if some guy wanted to double dutch? What kind of reaction is this?
What are you trying to say?
Okay, for real. Like, you my friend, so I'm gonna say. But we're honestly trying to say, you look real pretty.
You're telling me that the entire school reacted like this just because the boy is double dutching? What? I'm pretty sure this whole scene is a hate crime? There are some instances where Jump In strays away from the typical Disney Channel formula. We're used to seeing the love interest in Disney Channel original movies play the will they won't they game, but I feel like with Izzy and Mary, instantly as we saw both of the characters together, we got a feeling that they had crushes on each other. We could tell that they liked each other and there was chemistry between both characters.
You like it. Yeah, admit it. I don't have time for that, y'all.
And most of their interactions were flirtatious in a teenage kind of way.
Well, she ain't gonna say goodnight?
Good night, Izzy.
Very convenient that your teenage crush boy just live stone throws down the fire escape from you. That could lead into a lot of problems, ain't it? Too much access to each other. Disney, what are you doing? One thing that's glaringly missing from this movie are cell phones. And despite me having a cell phone since 2003, I know that a lot of teenagers did not have cell phones back in the earlier parts of the 2000s. And cell phones would have been helpful when Izzy actually wanted to get in contact with Mary to let her know that he will not be coming to the showcase. One thing they did have in this movie were MP3 players, you know, the little oblong ones that you could wear on a strap around your neck or around your wrist. Yes, kids of the 2010s, there was a time when cell phones and MP3 players were two different things. Technology. I had so many of those little bad boys. We see Izzy jamming out, listening to his MP3 player in the intro, or should I say not jamming out, seeing that his earphones aren't actually in his ear. This would have been a perfect spot for an ad read about wireless earbuds, but I'm not sponsored. But maybe if you hit that subscribe button, one day I will be sponsored. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. One thing that stood out to me that did not stand out to me as a kid watching it in 2007 was the fact that they had MP3 players. The teens don't have cell phones, and they wore jeans and dresses with chunky belts and a whole bunch of layers at once. But they have a narrator telling the story, and this story is supposed to be in the past.
Ronnie was tired of being mad too. He just didn't have the words to say it. Truth was, he was impressed.
When is the narrator speaking from? That was never established. But we finally get to see who the narrator is. At the end, we saw that it's Rodney who's telling the story about Izzy and Mary and the Double Dutch team to a bunch of kids sitting at the gym. And that part isn't explained. Like, how does Rodney know all the intimate details of Izzy or Mary's life? How did he know that the father was struggling with accepting that his wife is dead, or the son and the daughter were struggling with the fact that they no longer have a mom in their life, and how Izzy was feeling inside, making the decision to not disappoint his father? How does Rodney know about all these things? Are we supposed to see Rodney as an omniscient narrator, or are those filled in blank spaces that there's just no way Rodney would have known of? Are those part of the story that Rodney was telling the kids, or that's just what we're seeing? They don't make it clear what year Rodney is in telling the story about what Izzy and Mary did. All we know that it's been at least 2 years since they did what they did, because Rodney says this to the kids.
The Hot Chili Steppers went to state. They didn't win until the next year.
But Rodney doesn't look any older. So, one thing I really enjoy about this movie is the dynamic between Izzy and his father, and I think that maybe it's because Corbin Bleu actually was playing opposite his actual real life father, that the chemistry between them was just organic and naturally already there. Unlike with a lot of Disney Channel movie pushy parent character, they don't actually have Izzy's father seem like evil villain that we somehow need to fear and crave his approval. Yeah, we want Izzy to do what's best for him, but at the same time, we also understand why the father wants him to be a boxer, because that's the sport he enjoys. And we never actually feel like if Izzy wasn't a boxer, he couldn't continue to be his father's child. Unlike with Troy Bolton's dad, who basically give off the "you better play basketball or get the hell out of my house" kind of vibe. And I find it very interesting that not a lot of people here on YouTube reviewed this Dcom, because when I was a kid, it was kind of a must-watch Disney Channel original movie. And Jumpin' was one of the first Disney Channel original movies where I saw kids that looked like my friends and I just being kids with no baggage or supernatural powers, like regular ass black kids. It was one of the movies that came out right around the time when I was trying to wean myself off of Disney Channel for more mature PG-13 content. And even though this movie is not perfect and really is not that good, I still enjoyed watching it because it meant so much to me as a kid. Plus that soundtrack had some bops on there. Gotta jump to the rhythm and dance to the music. I have to say, I'm not familiar with the bylaws of double dutch competitions, but I'm pretty sure the ending scene where they break out from the freestyle performance and actually dance to push it, I'm pretty sure that would lead to a disqualification. So I'm gonna need y'all to recalculate who actually won, because I'm sure. In fact, let me check the bylaws. Let me check the bylaws real quick. Let me check the bylaws. It's right there. It's right there. It says it. It says it. It says it right there. Any 4-person team performing in a double dutch competition must be double dutching for 45 to 75 seconds. How long were they on that damn stage? I'm sure they should be disqualified. However, I did enjoy the fact that they won so that they could rub it in this little biscuit's face. She deserved it. How dare you tell Mary that her moves were lame? Only Izzy gets to do that, darling. I think it's time for me to slither out.
You ready for what? There ain't no ballet classes around here. Man, don't you have to wear like a tutu or ballerina outfit or something?
Mom, I hate ballet.
Ballet class? So what?